Hi guys, welcome back to My Christian Journey, where we share our testimonies and how we have overcame our trials, tests, and temptations. So today I'm joined by a special guest here as they are gonna introduce themselves. So if you are new to my channel, my name is Anna Keiwa.
Hi there. Welcome to My Christian Journey, a platform where we talk and engage about tests, trials, and temptations, testifying the goodness of the Lord and how we have overcome. MCJ, Proverbs chapter 24, verse 16.
My name is Magdalena Nambela, and I'm a PK. Don't worry what that means, you're gonna find out very soon.
Okay.
Oh, hi, how are you guys doing? I'm Naftali. I am an SOP, son of a pastor. I do not like the word PK. It's very typical.
Okay. So today I'm joined by the PKs and sons of pastor. So today I'm joined by them, and we are just gonna share, or they are gonna tell us on their Christian journey. Because normally people will be like, okay, pastors' kids, they live a whole perfect life. There's this just whole big expectation about them that no, they are expected to act in a certain way or whatsoever. But we are gonna find out more about them as they share their test and temptation and how they have overcame. Just share a bit about your background. How were you born already as a PK, or it was in a way, or whatsoever? Can you just share a bit about your background?
I'm born in a Christian family. By the time I was born, I already found that we are pastors' kids. So we had to live accordingly. So like the Bible says, we should be taught at the early age for us to live with it. So we were taught when we were young, and because we found it there, so it had to continue.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a yes and a no, because when I was born, my dad was studying to be a pastor. He was not a pastor yet, but he was very involved in the church. So I would say technically he was, but yeah.
And how has it been, you being raised in a Christian home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was normal, I would say, because I've not known any other thing. But if I have to compare it to other people and how other people was raised, I would say it's a blessing, honestly. A lot of people only come to know about the Lord late in their lives, and I'm glad that I got to experience the Lord from a young age with a family that pushed me towards being a believer. So I'd say it was a blessing for me, yeah.
Okay, and Maggie, can you just tell us what are those maybe expectations that maybe your parents expected from you, and also maybe the society, the neighbors, how did they look at you? What were those maybe some expectations, if you can identify them?
Yes. What they mostly expect from you, number one, wherever you go, is you being perfect. But they just want you to be perfect. Wherever you are seen, you're just perfect. Whatever you do is just perfect. And you find those neighbors, they think you are the way the pastor is, which is now your father. Yeah, so they expect more from you. For example, if they need help, many people approach me, they will be like, yeah, since your father is not around, can you just also get us through it? Then I'm like, okay. And when I don't, they'll be like, what does your father teach you? They ask you those questions. Like, I'll be like, okay. So they expect more from a pastor's kid, forgetting also that we're all human. But where I can help, I can, and I will do it gladly.
Interesting. So that so people expect you more to be like your dad, to be more as a pastor.
Yes.
Well, I think mine is different from hers. Because for me, they were like, oh, and I was loud about being, a pastor's son. So everybody knew I was a pastor's son because I'd brag about it.
Oh, hey, I'm a pastor's son.
Hey, I'm a pastor's kid, Kind of used it to
Okay.
manipulate a bit here and there, but it's there for another day. But yeah, so for me, because I was loud about it, people were like, "Oh, you're a pastor's son. Okay, cool." And then they expected the exact opposite of us. You know, because we're like, pastor's kids. We know you guys, man.
Yeah, ne?
We know you guys. Yeah,
Red
you guys
flags
are
there.
worse. You know, so for me, I was just like, they expected that, but I did the opposite. What can I say?
Okay, look at the PK
Right.
right there. Okay, we see you. But you mentioned something. If you just maybe share a bit, what were those?
Why are you paying attention to what I'm saying?
No, we want to know. We want to know all experience of the PKs and all that. You mentioned something that you used to manipulate people. In what way? What did you do?
Is that
Look at the whole
the
PK.
Well,
Just maybe two or three things that maybe you did manipulate people and all that. I know you have repented, right?
yes.
Oh, you're still doing that, so
No,
just maybe
no, only
share.
sometimes. Okay, sorry, no, I don't do it at all.
Sometimes.
But so why did I use my path? So there was this one kid I liked. Nah, this is deep.
Yeah, but that and this is why MCJ is there. That is your Christian journey. It's something that you are here to testify. We are all not perfect, as she has said, and people expect PKs, pastors' kids to be these perfect people and all that. But you are human. You will eventually mess up. But what do you do then when you mess up? Do you continue messing up? Do you own up and continue?
I didn't finish the other question.
No, but let's get to that because we are now so curious.
Yeah,
What is that? Can you please share? we wanna know. We wanna know what is that? You being manipulative and all that. So you were in love with this girl?
No.
Oh, okay. What did you say? Okay.
This is my answer for the other questions.
No, let's just.
You're finishing my
No,
answers.
let's just go there. What happened? We wanna know. We're so curious. What happened?
No, but no, it's not that long of a story. It's just I like the kid. So I was like, you know what, I'm a pastor's kid, you know, we are well raised and what.
I will marry you.
If you give me a chance, I might as well just bring the tithe, you know. I know, it was weird, but yeah, I told her if she gives me a chance because I'm a pastor's kid, I'll show her the world.
Wow. Okay, so that's how PK's like to us. Okay.
Kind of manipulated her into
I see.
And then also telling people, no, I'm the pastor's kid, so I should, you know, be at the front of the line. Like especially, let's say at soup kitchens, you know, at church, we would have lines of kids, you know, lining up. But then I'd be like, no, I'm the pastor's kid. I gotta go at the front, and then
I have to show them my pastor's kid.
Exactly.
So the girl that you were talking about, was it?
Who? Which one is this one?
The other, I'm just pulling your legs.
Funny how they just reminded me of something. So back in Sunday school, not so long ago, I'm still young. I'm just saying, I'm very young. I'm just 30.
30? You are very young.
Very young.
Young.
But yeah, so back in Sunday school, we had a group. Sunday school group, like any other church would have. So we had the ushers that would stand at the door to keep the kids from, you know, moving up and down because it was apparently disturbing. Not apparently, it was disturbing the service. Think about it now. But when we move out, we have to ask for permission, you know, to go out. Now everybody else was being given, you know, permission to go, and then I, as the pastor's child, the man, the usher at the door, sorry, he was just like, I am a boss, you can't go, you're the pastor's son, you're just here walking up and down, you're trying to cause disturbance. It's like, go sit down. And then I was like, but bro, every other kid is going out, like, what's going on? And it was a genuine, I was gonna go to the loop, I wanted to use the loop, but Mr. Usher didn't allow me to go. So
Pastor's kid behave.
Yeah, pastor's kid behave. So I must just twisted my head also, and then I dipped you. I dipped. Homie followed me. Not homie. Mr. Usher followed me all the way to the toilet. Bro, help me by this church. He was like, hey, this is not your
Oh.
father's church, you. Like, this is not your father's church. You can't be doing this. When I say sit down, you must sit there. You must be an example to the other kids. And that was like, but I'm a kid also, you. I cannot want to not be like other kids because now I'm pastor's kid. I should kind of be expected to mature and grow up at a very, very early age. So because I was so proud of being a pastor's child, I decided to boast about it. You know, that I'm a pastor's child, you know. I mean, like, look at me. You see, so then everybody kind of had the expectation that as a pastor's child, you know, you're just another kid that will go astray, another kid that's, you know, a troublemaker, and Loki was. But, what can I say? I'm not what they expected. They expected me to turn out so bad. But look at me now.
Well, interesting, because okay, on your side, I want to hear now from Maggie. So on your side, the whole expectation is that pastors' kids eventually turn out maybe to be drunkards or they just go astray. So that is what they expected
That's what
of
they
you, that
expected.
you will also be like that. But Maggie, what was the whole expectation on your side? What did people think or expect of you as a pastor's child?
Number one, they always expect us to be perfect or to live according to the image of our fathers being the pastors, the people that minister to other people in church. So it's like he is preaching for someone, and what about his own home? So we gotta think about it and be like, okay, so I have to live up to that. Is what people expect each and every day. That whatever decision I make sure it doesn't affect the pastor, my father, as him ministering in front of people, because these days people judge.
Exactly.
They'll be like, no, pastor, you cannot be saying something about my house, but you haven't seen your own house. You haven't examined your own house. So it was a lot, but as well, I didn't want to do it just because it's expected of me. I wanted to do it because I have to. And that's what I want to live up to and be proud of being a pastor's child. Yeah, so they expected more than I could do. Like, they will even suggest, like, yeah, you should be the way your father is so that you can take up the legacy that he created, that he brought up, not to give it to someone else, but to stay within the house. If you are to get married, you get married to a man that is able to live up to him and do what he used to do, instead of it going to someone else. Because for them, it's like a shame. There are people in the family that are able to take that up. Like me, they mostly face me, but if it goes to someone else, it's not gonna be nice for them. For them, they feel like it's a very big shame. So they wanted to stay within, because the way he preaches to them.
So you are okay. At times you are now scared to put your family reputation to shame, and then also one thing that you have mentioned. I think us now, or the church members, when we look at pastors' kids, we're like, okay, if the pastor is telling me this and their kids are behaving this certain way, who am I to listen to you?
Yes.
If your kids are being this way or acting this way and you are busy preaching to me, why can't you first preach to your own kids and whatsoever, but not knowing that all of us individuals, we are totally different. And then the whole pressure is now on you, PK, is that, okay, now I have to go to that, to reach to be on that standard way that I'm also now pleasing people. And then eventually you will do things, okay, I'm just doing it to please my family or the church people, because I don't want to put my family into shame, or my parents, they are always in front preaching this certain way, let me not also live that. And so interesting that you have mentioned that, no, my family, I need to keep the legacy of my family, so I need to get married so my husband can take over and also be a whole PK. But sometimes it's not part of your plan, right?
Yes.
It's just now a whole pressure or expectation that is coming from the family.
Yes. That it comes from the family and the church, the congregation. Yeah, everyone. That's what they want.
And is that
But-
what you want?
Sometimes we do things just because we want to please
Mm-hmm,
the parents.
mm-hmm,
At the same time, because we are focused on pleasing people,
mm-hmm.
and we forget God.
Yeah. What does God really want in this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
For the best thing for me to do is pray about it.
Mm-hmm.
Ask God, is this what you want for me? And obviously, it's gonna turn out. He might say, yeah, yes, my daughter, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
But my daughter, you don't have to live according to how people want you to live. You have to live to please me and not men.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would really want to do that. I do not want to please people. Because sometimes even in church, they will be like, Maggie, why don't you do what? You're supposed even to be the pastor's kid that is even preaching in church and so on. I'll be like, I don't want to lie to my God. If I cannot do it, or I don't want to do it because people are saying I should do it. I should do it according to me and my God. What is my relationship with my God as a pastor's kid? Do I live up to that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Naphtali, were there maybe a point whereby you were also maybe forced to take up a role in church? You know, you have to join worship team, you are a pastor's kid, you need to preach, you need to do certain things, and you're like, but I'm not comfortable, I don't want to do this. Did you ever maybe find yourself in such a situation?
Well, yes. Just not the worship team. Yeah, because I'm very single.
Uh-huh.
But I was low key. They wouldn't force you to say no, child. Like, hey, yo, go in. They would just be like, as a pastor's son, you're supposed to be doing this and this. It's like low key emotional blackmailing. So yeah, here and there, like, no, you should be leading the youth group, or here and there, you should be coming to the choir, join the choir, because in the choir your voice kind of gets lost. And then, forcing you a bit here and there, you should join the outreaches and whatnot because you're a pastor's child. So low-key, yes, I was kind of forced a bit.
Have you ever maybe felt different from any other person?
Like normal
As
people?
a PK, yeah. Maybe just church members or people in the world, and you're like, okay, why am I PK? Too much of pressure. Any challenges that you have felt or felt totally different from anybody?
But as much as I knew that, I also knew that I'm a public figure. it's funny if you look at it.
This
that way.
PK!
Yeah, but not public figure. Okay, public figure in the sense of people, obviously, even though no one admitted, people were looking at you, like people were looking up to you.
Yeah, sure.
And people were gonna go like, if the pastor's kid is behaving that way, I'm sure he knows better, his dad has taught him better. So if he's doing that, I might as well also just do it. But so as much as I knew that, I also had to know I was in the public's eye, and I had to keep up with the family. I don't want to say family reputation because it's not a family thing. I had to keep up, more like I had to represent Christ, also by myself, type of thing. So I eventually also had to start living right and not living in the sense of salvation is personal. So if that person falls, it's on them. I had to put up the standard or example of, as a Christian, how should you live? As a young person, what should you do? What should you not do? Type of things you should engage in. What would be biblical? What is not biblical?
Any moments where maybe you have fallen into tests, temptations, trials, and it was maybe just that season where you didn't even know yourself anymore, or you felt maybe into depression, or something was just not okay with you, and maybe to just share a bit of your testimony and how you have overcome that.
Yeah. Okay, for me, temptations are always there. As they say, daughters and sons of the preachers, they are always under attack. Because the devil is probably not happy of what the pastor is doing in other people's lives. So he tries to distract him. That the pastor concentrates on the church, and sometimes he forgets his own home, and then while his home is under attack. But you find in this case that in church they'll be like, let's pray for the pastor's kids. We need to pray for them. So that no temptation comes to them, but temptations are always there. It depends on how you respond to those temptations. As for me, yes, I did go through temptations a lot. Like, let me say on how I got my previous job. It was very tempting because I had to work in this office that is close to a club. So I see a lot of beautiful ladies, they pass there, they look good, and I'm like, yo, Maggie, I want to be there. Then I'm like, but I'm a pastor's kid. How do I do that? How do I just go into such things? Then I said, no, I'm not going. And then each and every day that I am there, I realize that I'm being tested, and I'm also testing myself that I might fall into this. And then one day it just happened that I try to be who I am not, and how I see your people are out there. They look nice, they are nice, and as pastors' kids, sometimes people say we are boring. And so because I don't want to be seen as a boring person, I decided that let me do this. And then one day I realized just by myself as I was working that, Maggie, you're not gonna work here anymore. I just decided that on my own, and I was like, this, God, if this was a test for me, you brought me here to work here. If this was a test for me, I told him, God, I failed you. I told him that, yes, I failed you. If that was a test for me. And it's okay to fail. It's only not okay when you fail and you know that you fail and you don't make any corrections. Or you don't do anything that changes your downfall. I really felt, and even people in the church, they notice that I have changed a lot. And then people, they start questioning, they do this and this, and also at home, like, yeah, you have changed, you are not the person anymore, you are not the person you were as you grow up, you are not like this, and now you just changed. But first, before I realized it by myself, people were always telling me, you are changing. You're falling, you are being tested. People in church will say, Pastor's kids, you are being tested. And I'm like, what are these people talking about? I want to live my life. They should stop this. Also, us living the way we want to is okay, but living it the right way. Because when we do things, we'll be like, yeah, this pressure is too much. I can't take it anymore. The people expect more from me. We end up destroying our own lives. We destroy the way people see us. We destroy a lot. We destroy our own lives, the way in the path we were in, we move out of it. Just because we try to fit in the world that doesn't belong to us. Because as for me, I was taught this from a very young age. And I'm telling you, I was always, after my grandfather would be like, yes, I want to know this. After everyone in the church, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to learn more. And actually, I do know more. But it just happened that you just fall. And some people feel like it's not okay to fall, but it is okay to fall as long as you change that. And don't feel, sometimes people say they go into depression. If you feel like that, you should talk to someone that you know this person is not gonna judge you. This person is gonna listen to you. As a pastor's kid, this person is gonna help you. Like people nowadays, they just judge. They just jump to conclusions. But which they supposed to do while they were supposed to pray and say, we pray for this pastor's kid. We just want them to come out of this. Whatever is binding them, we want them to be set free. So which people don't do these days.
And I like the point where you have mentioned that it is okay, or it is fine for you to fall. The scripture also tells us that we will go through tests, trials and temptation, but now what matters is that what do you do when you fall? Are you still just gonna remain there, and not stand up, what are you gonna do when you are in that situation? Because as Christians, the moment you have fallen, you fornicated, or you go into depression and all that, you withdraw yourself far away from God. But what do you do when you are in that situation? And that is what MCJ is all about. In your whole Christian journey, obviously you're gonna go through a lot, but when you go through that, how will you overcome and fix your relationship with God? And we'll focus on that.
MCJ, Proverbs chapter 24, verse 16.